Hello everyone, I'm Janani and I would like to make a few brief comments on the subject of informal sources of social power. This is an anecdote from the American Civil War. President Abraham Lincoln, he met this lady Harriet Stowe and he said, "Oh, so you're the little woman who wrote the book that has made this great war." He meant the US Civil War. Harriet Stowe did not begin a war. She did not even intend for this war to happen. All that she did was to write this story, Uncle Tom's Cabin, which showed the cruel and the tragic side of slavery in the US. And this story, it had such a powerful impact on the people. It affected so many people. And this storybook is said to have laid the groundwork for the US Civil War, which went on to eliminate slavery and free all the African Americans in the country and unite the country even. We have seen many such instances like this where a story, a book, a newspaper article or a paper that was published went on to have very great power. It made an impact on people. It even sparked off a revolution or a very great mass movement like this book did. And that's a rather strange thing we could say. It is one of the informal sources of social power, power that came from a book or from an idea. And one other idea that has had very great power in history, this took place during the Indian freedom movement. When India was under colonial rule, it was a case of 100,000 people ruling over 300 million people. Now, there has to be a lot of power in 300 million people. Now, how to tap into this power? How to organize it so as to make it effective? Mahatma Gandhi, he came and said, he made a call to all the Indians. He said, go and make salt. Now, what has salt got to do with freedom? People wanted freedom. They were not asking for salt. What had actually happened was the British, they had imposed a new tax on the production of salt. They said either you buy what we import from the government, or if you want to make your own salt, a practice that had been prevalent in India for centuries by the people along India's very long coastline. So they said, if you're going to make your own salt, then you have to pay us tax from now on. And Mahatma Gandhi said, nothing doing. No fight, no violence, no protest, but all of us will simply march to the coast and we will make salt. And this idea, it was very simple, it was very new, a leader saying, let's all make salt. But this caught the imagination of all the Indians, and people started marching to the coast nearest to them. Tens of thousands of people joined the march, and how can you arrest all of these people? There won't be even room in the prisons to hold all of these people. And so this mass movement, actually, it sparked off large-scale civil disobedience movements throughout the country. It even caught worldwide attention. This event is supposed to be one of the inspirations for Martin Luther King Jr. in his civil rights movement. And so this salt march, the call for making salt that Mahatma Gandhi gave, this became one of the landmarks in the Indian freedom struggle. And this went on to, this for the first time involved very large numbers of people in the freedom struggle. Till then, the movement had been attracting a few, dedicated few, but this was one symbolic act which made a very large number of Indians join the movement. And so there was something in this idea, in this act of making salt, which we have to admit is a very, very informal source of power. And this table here, it very roughly tries to divide sources of power into formal and informal. On the left, we have all that is formal. The United Nations, for example, is so well organized. It represents all the countries, ideally represents all the people, and it does have a power invested in it. But on the right, we have humanity, all of us collectively. We have a very, very vast power actually with all of us, but all of this is not organized. it is sometimes not even perceived, and it is definitely not tapped, but it is very real. We have very vast power actually invested in all of us together. And similarly, the next one, if you take the military, every soldier in the army is well trained to fight for her country, but on the right we have patriotism. Once a person is inspired by this sense of patriotism, then every citizen in the country can rise up to the call and stand up for the country. And another example of informal social power is found in brand value. For example, the prestige that is there in owning an iPhone and all the branded products. In fact, this is the power that is tapped into in endorsements. Even the United Nations, when it hires goodwill ambassadors to further its goals for education or for health, it is making use of this the celebrity power that is there. And we heard Professor Zucconi talk about the power that is there in the internet, in social networking today. We see that the internet is a huge informal source. Nobody is in charge. Everybody can tap into this, use it to access information, to connect to people, and we can all tap into this power to use it in any way we wish. Now I would just like to conclude with one thought which to me seems to have a lot of power. This organization, the World Academy of Art and Science, it consists of over 700 members, fellows, many of them past and present heads of state, heads of academic institutions, people who have led research organizations, decision-making bodies. Now, we all have our networks. There is a vast power in human network, and we know people personally, professionally, at the level of organization. And if we could tap into this network of people, into this informal source of social power that we all have access to, then there is so much that we can do to further the ideals on which the Academy was founded and to fulfill its goal of leadership and thought that leads to action. Thank you.